Yeah, man.
So this time will work from the top there.
Okay. I figured that would make sense. So that way you're not going through your work. Yeah.
Anyone's checking this out as a VOD, I appreciate you being here. Should be a fun one, okay?
Yeah, this is a weather postponement. So we were scheduled for the snowstorm.
Yeah. Which we ended up getting.
Yes, we did.
Today is for you too? Yeah. Yeah, that was the second song we had, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's been a wild season, cold, and unusual for us in this part of the world. I'm ready for spring.
Yeah, I'm ready for the weather to change. That one warm day we had this past week was rejuvenating.
Absolutely. Get out and get in the sun a little bit. It was nice. Didn't last long. We had another month or so, and the groundhogs are right.
Let's talk about that two 30-minute sets.
Right?
I did. I had a booker reach out for a show in Clarksville. I'll do 40 out there this summer.
Oh, sweet. So, Clark, is that Virginia?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Right across the line.
Yeah, I've never been there.
I did a feature on a show there last month.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's the venue?
It's a cigar and cigar lounge / bar.
Swanky.
Yeah, so like the green room for us was the members cigar lounge.
Oh man, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it was. They had like pool tables in there. It felt nice. It was like
Yeah, trying to pay you in cigars.
actually, yeah, we did get a tab.
Oh man, that's wild.
All three of us smoked a cigar.
That's pretty cool. I haven't smoked a cigar in forever, 10, 15 years.
Kind of regretted it the next day.
Oh, that's usually the way it goes. Yeah. There are people that do it all the time. I just don't know how.
And my jacket still smells like it.
Yeah, it doesn't go away. Yeah, as someone who used to be a regular smoker forever ago, back in the 90s, I don't regret letting that one go. That's a bad habit. No offense to anybody who's still in it, but I had to let it go.
I walked by the artist next door. B was outside, smoking a cigarette, and I changed my voice because she wasn't facing towards me. I was like, "Don't you know those things will kill you?"
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I must have heard that 100 times from my parents. Of course, they were right. I remember my dad, who was a smoker when I was born. My mom leaned on him to quit. So we went from that to smoking pipes. That used to be a thing. People would, obviously a boomer.
That was the vapes back then?
That was the vape back then, I guess. Yeah, man, that's right. He had this little caddy on his table next to his lounger in the living room. And in the middle of it, there was like a little trapdoor lid or whatever, and he would keep his pipe tobacco in there. And of course, he had like 3 or 4 pipes at any time that he would put in this, what looked like toothbrush holders, but for pipes, in this little caddy. And I just remember as a kid, I would go over and, of course, I'd put the pipe in my mouth, as you do, like Popeye. But also, I still remember it even now, like the smell of that pipe tobacco in that little caddy, like it was so sweet and so strong. And anytime I smell that kind of smell now, it just immediately puts me back in being like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. It's powerful what smell can do with memory.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Well, that's what they say too, is that smell is the sense that's the strongest link to memory. Or?
Absolutely. Which I think it's so cool that that's the case.
Yeah, if I smell natural light, I got to call my therapist.
Oh my God. For so many reasons. Oh my God. Oh man. That's totally valid. Oh man. Yeah, for me, it's the smell of popcorn. Because playing ball growing up, basketball specifically, like whenever you go into a gym, especially those little small gyms in high schools, there are always people munching popcorn. It's that smell immediately puts me back into that headspace of people showing up, sitting in the stands, watching basketball. It's such a nostalgic smell. Well, I don't even like popcorn, but I love that smell.
But you like popcorn.
But I love that smell. Yeah. And it just gets my teeth. It's one of those things that kind of grinds my gears. So we were talking a little bit about working out and stuff like that earlier, and some of the stuff that I've been doing. I have started a new thing in the past week or so where I'm doing a fast. So in addition to getting ink today, I'm also fasting. So
yeah,
I'll let you know at the end of the session how that went.
I did. I'm doing it. Did I mention that earlier?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm fasting today.
You're doing it too? Oh, how weird is that, man? What a coincidence.
Yeah, I did. It's been like a month and a half now. I did a 44-hour fast.
Oh wow, never done one that long.
And yeah, I was trying to just see. I've done almost 3 full days before. Well, actually, I've actually done 3 days before, but the last longest fast was I made it almost 3 days.
Wow.
When I started to feel like super lightheaded, I go ahead and break it.
Yeah.
Then I did a little more research this time into it, and like you got to build up kind of like your tolerance to it. And so weekly I do 24-hour fast.
Right.
And I was gonna fast yesterday, but what I did, I kind of messed up setting that up. Is I ate like soon as I woke up yesterday, so all day my metabolism was just running hard.
Right.
Then I got home last night and I was like, I think I want to start tomorrow.
Yeah, I hear you.
Also, I didn't have my electrolytes either.
And that's key. That's key.
But it's been making me feel a lot better. Switching my diet too, and sticking with that. Focusing on like and one actual cheat meal a month or like cheat day a month.
Yeah, that's good. You gotta have that balance. You gotta give yourself some grace periodically.
Yeah, it's nice to go out and just kind of eat something.
Yeah, and not really think too much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Which I went to Applebee's, which is oddly, it's like my girl's comfort food.
Oh yeah, it's so nostalgic. It's so nostalgic. It really is.
They actually had like decent. I mean, it's for sirloin, it's kind of expensive, but they have like decently healthy options.
Yeah, nice. I haven't been there in a long time, but whenever I go, it's just a nostalgia trip.
Yeah, it reminded me so much of like Applebee's back home because the fight almost broke out.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's like the Waffle House.
Yeah.
You're always going to get an entertaining experience. Yeah, I remember I had so many friends in high school. That was their first job, was working at Applebee's, either as like hosts or servers, and used to go and hang out at the Applebee's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night when they're getting off, and then go and just do whatever you do when you're in high school. But
pretty much get in trouble.
yeah, exactly. And hopefully not get caught.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, good times, very good memories. It'd be a good first gig to have if you're going to do restaurant work. So is the Clarksville gig your next gig, you were saying?
No, I have the Danville Casino again this week.
Okay.
Another 30-minute set.
That's cool.
And then I have my show in March, but I don't know if I'm going to be on my show yet. Just depends if someone doesn't show up.
Okay.
And that's also in Danville. And then I have one at one in Raleigh. I gotta look at the calendar again, and then I got another one in Carborough here.
Oh, cool.
I try to just focus on at least an actual show every 2 weeks.
That's a good rhythm.
And sometimes it's more, sometimes I do multiple shows a week. Occasionally I won't have something on the books.
Do you find spacing it out every couple of weeks gives you a little bit of time to reflect as you're going from gig to gig?
No, I just thought that was like a realistic goal.
Okay.
I mean, really, like if I was in the Facebook groups a lot and reaching out to producers, I could do multiple shows a week. But, so I like having the time to like some evening stream video games too, and work on that. Because when I'm doing comedy, like I don't do much else. It's tattoo and then go do comedy and then home, sleep, wake up, go do it again.
Right. It's a grind, man.
The adrenaline dumps of it too.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot easier, but the first few years, like I realized like there's a 2, 3, maybe 4 day lull that follows being on stage a lot.
Like coming down? Like almost like a high?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And disrupts my sleep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which my sleep's pretty much disrupted right now anyways. Just, man, since starting the diet again and fasting, my energy levels are like, I feel like they're through the roof. But yeah, it would like disrupt my sleep, and then I felt like I was burning the candle in both ends. So like I was doing like a week of comedy, then a week off, a week of comedy, a week off. So I tried to sign up for a couple mics a week, and then at least one show every 2 weeks.
Wow.
It's been a slow build. I mean, like I also thought about tattooing, and like when I got into tattooing, I like tattooing all the time.
Right.
It was everything. And then I was trying to approach this a little bit differently with that.
Yeah.
A little more balanced, a little more managed, I guess.
Yeah. Is there something that tattooing gives you that comedy doesn't, and vice versa? Is there something comedy gives you that tattooing doesn't? Like, how does it, in terms of making you feel? I guess at this point you're pretty practiced as a tattoo artist.
Yeah, a lot of tattooing feels secondhand at this point, and then like growth of it is slower. It's a little bit slower pace.
Yeah.
It's also taught me too that like being 10 years into this, that like as long as you keep working at it, like the leaps and bounds went away years ago.
Right.
But as long as you like keep working at it and keep doing it consistently, then you're gonna get better at it. You're gonna gain more knowledge and understanding. And I mean, there's a level of service in comedy. Of like this room full of people. I'm the one providing them with a good time, maybe a memory of a night out.
Right.
You know, taking them away from their life for an hour at a time on a show. But tattooing definitely feels more of like a service to others.
Yeah. I just was sort of, as I was thinking of that question to ask you, I was thinking about how obviously tattooing is very permanent and very real and very sort of in the moment, but also simultaneously something that once you're done, it goes with the person forever.
Yeah.
And then of course comedy, also a service and also something that goes with the person, but not in a permanent physical way, but in a permanent memory way. Like as I was telling you the story about going to see the performance, like that definitely is going to stick with me for a while, and probably always, because that was my first time going to see a live performance. But anyway, I was kind of wondering how your thoughts and feelings were about that. If you'd ever thought about it.
Yeah, I think about a lot of things all the time.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, there's a level of like this tattooing in a way is for me, but it's definitely, I've always focused on it being more for my clients than myself.
Right.
and yeah, comedy does go with them. There is a fun aspect of it too, that, like a thought I've had, and I was talking about this at an open mic one night with some other comedians. Of like, you kind of get over the fact that like at an open mic you go up on stage and you know it doesn't always go great,
Right.
or you maybe tried like when I was first trying divorce material, like you could feel the freshness of the divorce in the material.
Yeah.
And I had a thought of like, oh, if these people never see me perform again, I'm that lasting impression of me is in their mind carrying on, right?
Yeah.
And I only had that moment to make that impression. And you learn to like get over that thought, I guess.
Yeah. Well, just think about how vulnerable that must have been, to sort of open yourself up to that and to allow that to be part of your act while you were actively processing it. It must have been pretty raw, pretty real for you, pretty vulnerable.
Yeah. It's definitely the divorce material goes over a lot better now than being on the other side of it.
For sure.
That is one challenge. When I'm doing, sometimes doing longer stuff, or it really depends on the room and the crowd. But I'm very vigilant of like watching the audience's faces,
Sure.
and so I can tell when I'm starting to lose them, like pretty quickly, like just based on their expressions. And that's been like a challenge of like, okay, is there a way that I can switch some stuff around to kind of make it more palatable, or can I change the setup of it? So I've been like thinking more of like, how can I make this work in every room?
Sure.
And not just quote with the crowd that's on board.
Huh.
And there are ways to do that. And I kind of compare that to tattooing in a way of like, once you learn the skin,
Right.
how all the different types of skin react and handle the ink, like you're more equipped going into a tattoo. Because like you could start something and you're like, oh, this is inflammation is happening right away. All right, let me run through my checklist. What's happening?
Right.
And like you start to learn like how to deal with the different types of skin, and I feel confident no matter like how the skin's reacting.
Oh, that's wild.
And then with like kind of like in comedy would be every room's different, so it's like when I'm getting in front of different crowds, right? Like how do I keep working through the skin, you know?
Sure.
And figuring out.
What an interesting analogy that is.
And
Not a connection I would have made. It's really interesting comparison.
And I naturally like constantly, because they're two crafts, and finding similarities and comparisons, and I think that's just my way of like figuring out how to navigate it. You know? And it's my only point of reference.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just the expression that you hear sometimes when people can't take a joke, like they say they're thin-skinned.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess there's people that struggle with taking ink in the same sort of way, and it's just an interesting comparison. It's one I would have never thought of. It's very clever.
Like a lot of times, I had to learn how to bridge. Bridging. Let me think how to explain this. Building a bridge for people to hear something as a joke. Sometimes necessary. Sometimes like you need to build the bridge by giving some more information before you go into the bit.
Right, like contextualizing, give it background or
right, like
explaining.
I have one on LARPing, and like when I say LARPing, like I started to notice that like half the room
would know what it is, and
and the other half wouldn't. So then I've learned like, oh, I need to do a quick spiel of explaining what LARPing is, so this punchline goes over.
Right.
And when I get to like I preface this material with being in therapy, and then I go into like childhood stuff. And what I was realizing was I was getting more awes than laughs.
Oh, okay.
You know, like people feeling bad about me talking about my childhood. We're like, it was my childhood. Like I'm positive about it. Like
right.
I knew who I am. You know, I don't want to go into motivational style on stage. So
sure.
I had to find a way to bridge that gap of like letting people know, hey, I get
I'm
like,
good.
I get
I'm
this,
in therapy.
I get
I'm
this
good.
is kind of like a dark material,
Sure.
but or a darker material, but like you guys can laugh at this. This is fine. I'm okay. Right. So one of it is before I get into like talking about my family's relationship with alcohol, I bridged the gap by saying, like, oh, you ain't gotta say all, like, you know, we're proud of it. Like, most families, you know, has graduation photos on the mantle and degrees. Oh, my family's got warrants on the walls. Like, and just saying that bridges that gap to.
Sure.
I've realized now that I've been practicing that on stage that people now laugh at the jokes I'm about to say a lot more.
Sure. It's all about the kind of paperwork up there, right? Yeah.
I don't always. I like to run material through how can I make this work before dropping it. But one thing I've learned is if it doesn't feel good for me to say, like maybe in the moment when I came up with the joke or was talking about it, it was funny. But later I like realized, okay, you know what, maybe I don't want this. This doesn't fit me, my persona, or who I am. Then I usually will drop something pretty quick. But some seasoned comedians, like that thing that you're nervous to say can sometimes be one of your best jokes. You just gotta figure out how to work it.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Imagine finding that edge of, you know, comfort with yourself and comfort with the audience. I mean, obviously, to some extent, to get a laugh, I suspect you have to push yourself into places that you wouldn't normally go. And by extension, I guess, push your audience to places that they've never been to get them to have the experience you want them to have. So that's fascinating. Never really thought about that sort of psychology of that before.
And when I'm at mics and I'm trying that, one thing that helps is also, like I was talking about earlier, being like vigilant of watching their faces and their reactions.
Yeah.
That tells me more than a laugh sometimes. And it's like if I see them cover their mouth, in the aspect of like they want to laugh at it, but they feel like they shouldn't.
Oh yeah.
Then there's like more to consider in that too. Of like, was there enough people in the room? Because if the room is spread out, laughter's contagious. So if the room's spread out and nobody, like, you can't hear those next to you laughing,
Right.
it can be an aspect of like, oh, I'm not supposed to laugh at this, and I don't hear anyone else laughing, so I'm not gonna laugh.
Right.
And that's honestly with any material, not even like finding an edge or a material that has more of an edge to it.
Sure. It's so interesting. It's a weird connection, but I was in film school, and a big part of film school is watching film in class, and especially if you're watching comedies or something that's intensely dramatic, either laughter or tears as the situation calls for it. And it's very interesting to, when you're with a group of the same audience week after week, having the realization of who in the class has a sense of humor as well as a sensitivity that's similar to yours. Like what are the things that make you laugh, and what are the things that give you a tear. I suspect for you, obviously you're testing out your material on different audiences in different places in different contexts constantly. Mm-hmm. And so I guess how interesting it would be if you could try material out with like the same audience more than once and really sort of see like some kind of sense of like growth or change in respect to how you deliver a thing. If you're trying it out on a different audience every time, it's got to feel almost like coming to the edge of a cliff, I guess. Like, is this going to go or is this not going to go? And how weird that must feel from your position. I don't know. It's a weird connection I made, but I don't know if that makes any sense or not. Like, I imagine it's got to be really emotionally very exhilarating, but also probably nerve-wracking at the exact same time. I guess that kind of speaks to that feeling that you were having about having a hard time winding down after a show. I imagine you get your nerves pretty jangled during the course of a performance, the build up, and of course the fall down afterwards. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, rambling. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I mean, it's taught me that like you never know. Like, I have jokes that I know like work, and then it's really funny is like I'll deliver it the same way, just a different room, and it just doesn't hit the same.
Right.
And so like it's very hard to gauge, especially when you're working a new joke. It's hard to gauge like, oh, is this actually funny, or is it I haven't figured it out, or it's just not the right room for it.
Yeah, what are the contextual ingredients that maybe you need to add or delete for it to work properly? And again, as you were saying, this is maybe not the right audience. This isn't it's not for them. So my daughter and I started watching a new show together on Apple TV. That's been on my mind a lot since we started it. It's really weird. It's called Pluribus. Mm-hmm. It's by the same guy that did Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan. And it's just bizarre. The premise is kind of wild, and I'm not giving any spoilers by telling this. These are things you figure out within 15, 20 minutes in the first episode. So it's kind of like, again, the premise of the show. So I hope it's not spoiling it for anybody, or for you if you choose to watch it. But in this world that they've created, there's a broadcast that comes from outer space in this code, and they end up realizing that it's a code for like a genetic modification, and then they're able to create this genetic modification, and when they do, it's essentially a virus that puts everyone in the planet except for like 11 or 12 people into a giant collective consciousness. And the star, the subject of the film, is not part of that collective consciousness, but she has to constantly interact with people that can essentially read her mind and know everything that her partner, who was part of the collective consciousness but died suddenly, remembered, thought, experienced. And so she'll have someone visit her as part of that collective that's able to recall things very specific from
her and her partner.
Right, that were very intimate things, very intimate details. And like, in any event, it's just this, it's a really weird, funny show, but it's that dark kind of humor. And my daughter and I love that kind of humor, like that dark sort of very intellectual, edgy sort of humor that kind of makes you feel super uncomfortable. Like you laugh at something and you, at the same time you feel like I shouldn't have laughed at that. But in any event, highly recommend the show if you've it was one that I'd seen ads for and had read a little bit about because it won some awards, and it was getting some critical interest, and I was just like, all right, let's give this a shot because we're looking for a new show. And yeah, I guess it's just one season. I don't know if they're going to make any more. I've just gotten into it, but yeah, it's cool to be able to have that kind of connection with someone in terms of like humor. I guess that was kind of where I was going with it in terms of connecting, like, you know, with your jokes and stuff. It's like if you've got a style and the audience doesn't have that style, then I don't know if there's much you can do, you know, to make things land. You know, I feel like there's certain kind of comedians who have a kind of, and I don't mean it to be disrespectful to this comedian, but Nate Bargatze, who I think is very funny, but he's not my style, if that makes any sense. He's very relatable and very funny, but it's almost like it's a little too bland. I like things a little bit edgier. I'm more of a Tom Segura type of, like, the kind of humor I like that's darker, a little bit edgier, and makes me feel uncomfortable. But that's my style of humor. And Nate Bargatze is very, very funny, but he never makes me feel uncomfortable. He's more a warm blanket humor. More, I guess,
What's like
safer, I guess might be a way of putting it.
He doubled down on the clean comedy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It's not that I don't like, it's not that I dislike clean comics. I mean, I think you can be a clean comic and be incredibly funny and even edgy, but I don't know. It's just, again, sort of circling back to the idea that you were saying, like, you know, trying to figure out what the vibe is in a room and how to connect with audiences. And, you know, there may be a certain amount of whatever that alchemy is, if it is or it isn't. And you can either, I don't know, chalk it up to maybe that the joke is good, but it's not good for this audience, and there's no way of knowing that until, I guess, you're in the moment and potentially bombing, and like, what do you do with that? I don't know. Again, sorry, rambling a bit, but
well, there's when I did the casino show, the first time, the audience, majority of the audience was pretty much there for the headliner for the night.
Right, yeah.
And so I did okay. It wasn't it wasn't the best. I lost majority. Also, like, I didn't know then about bailing on material and bringing the audience back to you.
Sure.
But one contrasting thing between me and the headliner was I thought I was pretty high energy. But what I learned was, like, I'm high energy compared to, like, majority of my colleagues around me that I've been around. And so that gave me the perspective, like, oh, when I was asked, are you high energy so we know where to put you on the lineup? I said yes. And then after I, like, looked at it and I was like, all right, I learned tonight that I'm not as high energy. You know, I'm not running around the stage. I'm not super active.
Right.
And that audience was there for that.
Gotcha.
And so that I was put in between. The host is the host every time there, but I was put in between two very high energy comics. And the one comic, when I was talking to her after she went first, she was like, your energy level is way different. This crowd's expecting you to be all over the place, interacting with them, hopping off the stage, like. So, like, you have that against you too. And she was like, I think, you know, I tell all younger comedians is, like, find your audience and then focus on your audience.
That's interesting.
And I think about tattooing it's very good for making a living, to find your style and then double down on that and specialize.
Yes.
Like, I agree 100% with that. But also me trying different styles a lot in the beginning and continuing to be open to new styles teaches me new things that I'm able to bring back into, you know, what I specialize in. So I heard what she was saying and, like, I agree. But also, like, I don't know 100%. Some of the local comedians that I do open mics with have told me, like, oh, you get who you are on stage. And really what I'm just trying to do is every time I'm up there, I'm trying to more and more just be myself.
Right.
And so I have, like, that level of, like, do I want to just focus on that now, or I'm in my third year now. I was like, do I want to keep trying different things, figuring out what I like, don't like, and then decide, okay, what way I'm going. Like, do I know enough now to make that decision? Is one thing I keep thinking about. It's like, do I know enough about myself or comedy and myself in comedy to decide that this is who I'm going to be in comedy?
Oh. Figuring out your voice, basically.
Yeah. And, like, a lot of my material is written to a lot that I'm using regularly. You know, I wrote 2 years ago, and I've just been working on it more and making it better. And then, like, I have this idea too of, like, do I want to portray that?
Right.
Or can I?
Because you've changed, you've evolved.
Yeah, and I'm like, can I find a way to let the audience know, like, this is who I used to be, and then talk about it from that perspective?
Oh, that's kind of meta. That's interesting.
Because, like, I mean, a way to say it is I used to be very, very, like, promiscuous and pretty much a fuckboy, like, that level of thing. So, like, I have a lot of stories and stuff around that. And then again, when I'm on stage, sometimes I get into that material and I'm questioning to myself too, like, oh, do I want to keep portraying this on stage, or even, like, kind of criminal, you know, like, do I want? I know it fits the look, but, like, when you really get to know me, like, I'm a fucking big softie a lot of the times, you know, like, huge heart. So so I think the next round of, like, opening material is gonna be just addressing people thinking I'm this thing, but I'm not really.
Oh man, I think that's really smart, dude. I think that really is something you should lean into. That's amazing.
And I do a little bit of it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to bail on that material, but I think I want to find a bridge that says this is who I used to be,
Right.
and then I can make jokes about it and keep it in the act. Because I've heard other comedians talk about it, like, you know, becoming a father or becoming a mother, and then like it's known that, or you have jokes about being a parent, and it's like, well, is that who I am now? Like, does that take away from the single material, you know, or like
Sure.
my childless material, like, or before I had a child?
Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah, playing around with expectation. I think that's a really smart way to approach
Actually,
the act that you could build.
now that we're talking about it, that may actually, because I've been trying to figure out, about halfway through my set list, I can literally see I lose a chunk of the crowd.
Yeah.
And in the book I'm reading, it talks about, like, if it doesn't fit who you are, you probably should get rid of it or change it. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's too big of a shift when I get halfway through it, that it's not working for me.
Huh. So it really sounds like the work that you do in building your act is constantly forcing you to examine this sort of headspace of your identity on a really consistent basis.
Yeah, the way the book was breaking it down is like, if you come out, they called it a class system.
Sure.
So if your material is putting you high class,
Right.
and then you change it to your low class now,
Right.
it's a very big shift.
Huh.
But you can't be high class all the time, because then, you know, you come off as smug or
Right.
you know,
Yeah, like you're not really relatable.
right. So like there's a balance of like really good comedians that are actually telling high class jokes, but they're still the butt of the joke, you know? Like,
Right.
it's almost like their ignorance, they're overlooking the fact that they have low class
Right.
things happening, and they do it in this like beautiful manner that it feels natural.
I feel like there's a older comedian, that used to play around with that sort of class thing exactly the way you're describing. Ron White, who's always seemed like he was kind of like, you know, the guy at the country club drinking the bourbon, who's kind of a country boy, but at the same time is, you know, sort of polished and been to like either a prep school or finishing school. He's kind of like this weird blend of polish but also a drunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say the drunk kind of balance.
Exactly.
Out
Yeah.
the high class.
Exactly. And I think that he did exactly what you're describing. And then, of course, there's they were all part of that tour they did together with like Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy, who has, I guess, disappeared from the comedy scene. Like I think he's still. Does he still do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Larry the Cable Guy was
But it's a persona.
Yeah,
it's a persona. Like, and that's what I was sort of. It was interesting that he was this persona, and he's actually in real life this really kind of smart guy who went to college and, you know, is not the sort of hayseed and overalls that was his stage persona. And I mean, you see that kind of thing in hip hop all the time, where, you know, someone's got a stage persona, and then of course this, you know, they went to maybe like Brown or something
Waka
like
Flocka,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody who's got this street persona, but they're, you know, actually like university educated, polished poet, who's just working an angle in terms of their performance, which it's fascinating. It's this whole thing with this exploration of identity is really intriguing to me. I never really thought about it being something that you had to constantly navigate as a comedic artist. Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, it's an emotional heavy lift on a regular basis, I guess. But I don't know. I'm sure you're probably familiar with this artist too because he's a tattoo comedian. I can't think of his last name. He's Shane something. And he's got
His head's tattooed.
yeah, his face is tattooed. He's got neck tattoos, arm. I think he's got one arm maybe now that's completely blacked out. And he constantly plays against identity, right? In terms of because he's kind of like a D&D nerd, but he also looks like he might run a meth lab. So it's kind of like this weird juxtaposition of being sort of like way into like Lord of the Rings, but at the same time, looking like if you left your keys in your car, you might drive off with it kind of look. And I think that really works for him because he's kind of goofy. But if you saw him walking down the street, you would not think he was goofy.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think that's really fun. I follow him on socials, and his social media, I'm not on socials much anymore, but his social media presence is pretty hilarious. Like, he does a pretty good job managing it. So.
I need to be more willing to take risk in the beginning of a set.
How do you mean?
Like the other day at Good Nights, I had this idea. There was a guy sitting in the front row that kind of greatly resembled Mr. Clean.
Sure.
And so, and I didn't do it on stage, but when he was walking by me, out the door and was like, you know, you're really funny, I appreciate you. And I looked at him and I said, I appreciate you, Mr. Clean. And he laughed at it. So I was like, all right, well, you would at least found it funny.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of walking on stage and act like I just realized he was there.
Oh, sure.
And be like, bro, my mom really loved using your cleaning products.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I
Well, the earring was everything with Mr. Clean, man. He had the big earring. That was one of the things I always remember as a kid.
yeah, and I thought about like having to address that because I didn't see an earring on him, and I was gonna dress it of like he got everything but the earring on.
Right. Yeah, the earring was everything. Yeah.
And then I was thinking like more Mr. Clean stuff. And I was like, Mr. Clean's changed over the years. Like when I was growing up, he looked like a really, really white guy, but now he kind of looks like he's light skinned.
Yeah, exactly.
And just addressing that change, I think would have got a laugh. But I think if I would have came out the rip, majority of the people would have laughed at the Mr. Clean thing.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that, what was it? I mean, I remember it as a little kid, so it must have been like the 70s, early 80s. Like, what the hell was going on with the earring? Like, that came out before, like, earrings were a thing for guys, unless you were a pirate, you know? And it's like, was he supposed to be, like, evoking, like, a pirate? Like, I really legit don't even know what the deal is with the earring.
Maybe the artist had an earring, was like,
yeah, maybe
trying to start the trend.
I remember too, like when I was a kid. I mean, obviously I'm older than you, and there was a band George Michael was in called Wham in the early '80s, and they had a bunch of music videos on MTV way back in the day. And George Michael had earrings, and you know they would do these close-ups of him with these earrings on, and it just blew my mind as a little kid. It's like, guys can have earrings? It's like, is he a girl? Like, what's the deal? You know, I didn't understand, you know, any kind of significance of it or, you know, whatever. Just being sort of blown away by that notion. The only other person I'd seen with an earring, of course, was Mr. Clean on bottles of, you know, cleanser or whatever in like the supermarket or in my mom's cabinet. Yeah, it's like this weird. And
it really was against the norm.
Yeah, like it's just not even an issue anymore. And, you know, it's hard to really put into words what a unusual thing it was, and you know.
Yeah, because I don't think it was until I was maybe, I guess it would have had to been my early 2000s when it became, I feel like, less of a gender specific thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember like even, I guess it was Slim Shady, you know, like seeing him with the diamonds in his ears, and like I was like, oh, I never did. It's never really been into piercings, but I was like, oh, I want to do that. And I remember at the time my dad being like, that earrings are for girls, dude.
Yep.
Don't wear that. Don't put that in your ear.
Yep.
And then also lying to me about nose piercings, too.
Yeah, of course.
I talked about wanting a nose piercing once, and he was like, you know, when you sneeze, right? If you got a nose piercing, it flows snot everywhere. And so, like, growing up, I was like, oh, I'll never get a nose piercing because that would be embarrassing to sneeze and snot go everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the most rebel thing you could do back in the 90s, was get a nose ring. Because everybody had their ears pierced. Like, I remember getting mine on spring break and coming home with it, and my parents losing their minds. And all the guys, like, we all got it done. I think in Myrtle Beach on the street. Like,
yeah.
It was like some booth. It was literally so not a good idea of a place to get your ear pierced, like, with a gun, of course, as well. And we all like lined up and did it, and you know, everybody had their ear pierced at the end of the night. And when I think back on that, it was so absurd, but such a teenage thing to do. And just my parents had a fit. It was after basketball season, so you know, I didn't have to worry about taking it out for competition or anything like that. But my dad was furious. But they gave in. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. They really lost when I got going back to the idea of taking risks, at the beginning of your shows, with your upcoming shows, is that something you're going to aim to try and just sort of lean into it if you feel it?
Yeah, so I'm at a point now of like, I have to do it to get better at it.
I got you.
And I was putting this huge pressure on myself that, this is I mean, I guess the casino kind of is like kind of a bigger deal, but
yeah,
it's like, well, if I got to be willing to try this everywhere I go, and I've been for a long time crutching on my material. Like, oh, I just got to have my material down and I'll be good, but that's not the reality.
Sure.
So I'm gonna just approach things of, I gotta figure out how to talk about the venue. That's something I need to think about. That always brings people on board if you point out something weird about the venue, or I don't know, being in the casino, I might say they're, paying me in credits or something.
Right.
Like, I did have my first show where I pretty much was paid in alcohol.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the venue, I'm sure they give some money, but I was filling in, and I think it's probably some money and then a $50 gift card to the venue. And so I was like, I literally, when I was closing out, because I was hosting, I was like, does anybody want to give me 40 bucks for 50 bucks?
Yeah.
Gift card? I was like trying to sell it off. And then nobody got it, and I was like, well, I like the sandwiches here, but I can't eat them right now. And I was like, is the wine on the table? And he was like, yeah, you could buy some wine with it.
Buy a bottle of wine for later. Yeah, that's an unusual way, but I guess it's something they can write off really easily. I guess like working at restaurants, getting a shift meal and a shift beer. I worked at a brewery when I was in college. It literally didn't cost them anything. Pennies on the dollar anyway.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they didn't try to claim that as compensation there. It's just, if you worked a shift, you get a meal at the end and a drink if you're of age.
Also, I've been thinking about too, like how that felt, abandoning my material.
Oh yeah.
And it was like felt so raw, real fun that it was like, I even said the next day, I was like, if every time I did comedy felt like that, I don't think I would want much else.
Yeah.
Because it was such a feeling. Again, like when I got off stage after, I was like pretty emotional about it.
Yeah. It's got to be a real high. An adrenaline rush. I think somebody was saying that about Robin Williams at one point, how he would go out and just explode on stage and then be in the back afterwards and just be like empty.
Yeah.
Just sort of be just blown through so much energy and so much adrenaline that he would just be spent afterwards, and people would come back and talk to him. It was just quiet, and how surprised they were for how quiet he was. It's just like, yeah, it's kind of an explosion of creative energy. Leave you drained, I guess.
chips.
Yeah, I don't know about that, dude. Unless you're feeling lucky. Maybe that's a great thing.
This will be a quiet day on the stream.
Yeah. Yeah, last time we had a lot of banter.
Yeah, I've been having some decent days. Yesterday we had a few people hang out for a while in the chat. I noticed yesterday, probably because of Saturday in general, but the holiday too. A lot of people I watched, their numbers were kind of low yesterday.
Yeah. This is not too terribly surprising.
fast where like I stop feeling it.
Yep.
And then if I drink some tea, I'll get like a jolt of energy.
Yeah. The littlest, tiniest thing will zap you. Yeah. Today all I've had is 2 cups of coffee. Last time I ate was 7:30, 8 last night.
You do 24?
I usually do 16 to 18 right now, kind of building capacity. Kind of like what you're saying, your body has to adjust to it. And I still lift pretty hard. And I'm trying to run, do some cardio on off days too. I don't know that I'm getting any cardio in today, but between the rain and spending my day with you, but tomorrow I'll probably get a lift and a run in. My lift is usually pretty quick, about 40 minutes to an hour. I don't lift. I don't go too hard. I mean, I lift heavy, but I don't. I try not to overdo it at this point in my life. Try to be gentle with myself. Cannot afford injury.
Yeah.
And injury happens so easily the older you get. It just doesn't take anything anymore.
It's top of my mind while I'm training too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Feels a little limiting, but
It does. And I think about how limiting an injury would be then. It gives me that perspective. I hurt my back and was pretty out of it for almost 18 months. So nice to be able to get back into it. So I'm trying to be as gentle with myself as I can. Try to leave the heavy weights alone as much as I can. Just focus on reps, sets, and try to stretch those out as far as I can. The lifting feels so good. Such a good rush. Endorphins. Same thing with running, or really for me just jogging at this point. After push through a couple miles, I try not to run more than 3 or 4 miles at a time. But usually around mile 2, when you get through that, and for this point, my point in my life, the pain, you get through the pain of the first mile or 2, start feeling pretty good. It's so hard to get through that first mile or 2.
so the first mile was the hardest.
Oh my gosh, man. I got bad knees and hips and stuff, but once I get through that, I'm usually in pretty good shape.
Yeah, the first mile feels just like 7 Mile.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So rough.
What's up, PB? Did you have a good stream? Girls been streaming too.
Oh, cool. That's a cool thing to have in common. That's fun. Yeah, sure.
You staying down?
No, I'm gonna stand up if you don't mind.
Give my arm a little bit of rest. Saw you had some consistent viewers today, BB.
Am I clear?
Yeah, you're clear.
Wow, it's really raining now. Shit.
don't pay me no more.
My daughter's working on this art project with a really big, I guess, it's paper canvas. I'm not sure exactly what the medium is, but it's a big tiger. It was really pretty. She's doing her AP art portfolio.
What is it again?
So she's taking a college credit class for art at her high school. Yeah, so it's advanced placement. So she sends it in, and she gets scored by, I guess, like a nationally program. It's got these national standards, and her portfolio has to have a lot of writing and design structure in it and stuff. It's pretty cool. A lot of pressure though.
Yeah. Very vulnerable.
Yeah, very vulnerable. Well, she's pretty darn good at it.
Have you watched One Battle After or another yet.
Oh my God, what a freaking coincidence. I was about to literally ask you the same question. Kid you not. I kid you not. That is so freaking weird and coincidental.
I wanted to talk to you about it.
Oh my God.
Because of the cinematic aspect.
Yeah, dude. It is a fan. It is definitely. I love Paul Thomas Anderson, first of all. And that particular, like, that film, that story, oh my gosh. Talk about a fucking movie for our time. Like,
also a ride. It takes you.
Like a total ride. And Sean Penn in that, I mean, DiCaprio, I mean, the young lady that played his daughter, I'm sorry I can't think of her name off the top of my head. She was new to me. Dude, she was fantastic. Oh, man.
I thought that movie was like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little over like an hour, like maybe like an hour and 40 minutes or something.
It's like I think it's like right at 2. Yeah. It is a ride though. It is a total ride. Such a powerful story.
Yeah, you forget, you like almost feel like you're watching a show.
Yeah.
How much changes and happens along the way.
Massive. Yeah, DiCaprio's character is just like the journey that he goes through is fantastic. The daughter, her strength and her character just is amazing. Sean Penn, just horrifying the role that he played. I mean, he is just absolutely terrifying.
He played the
colonel or whatever.
Yeah, the daughter's actual father.
Yeah, and you put that in the backdrop of everything that's going on in places like Minneapolis right now. Mm-hmm. Like, holy cow, man! Like,
yeah, I thought even in the beginning, I thought it was a modern setting, and then I realized, like, oh no, this is like 90s.
Yep. Absolutely. 90s or early 2000s or something. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, I watched it with PB and she was just chatting.
Oh, fantastic! So good, so good.
Yeah, like the first night we put it on, I fell asleep watching it, and while I was like falling asleep, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry I put on like a 3-hour movie, and then the next day we woke up and finished it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's
not
less
3
than
hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. No, it's a journey. It's a journey. Yeah. So good. Yeah, I've watched that one recently, I guess the past month or so. It was, I guess, right before I guess they announced either the Golden Globes or the Oscars or something. I think it was Golden Globes, I guess. And that ended up blowing up big time. Winning so many awards. And, my daughter, again, another thing that she was like, oh, Dad, you gotta watch this show called The Pit. Mm-hmm. Oh, my Lord. Now, if you don't like medical shows, then it's not the show for you. And talk about an intense medical show. Like,
is that the one where they were talking about how, like, I think I was hearing someone saying like they work in the medical field and they see the bullshit through Hollywood trying to make it about medical, but this one was like really close to how it actually
the way it really is. Yeah, and I've got a buddy who's works at a trauma center and an emergency room that's maybe not in quite the urban area that this is set in Pittsburgh, but boy, I can only imagine if this is anything close to what he goes through. That the level of stress and anxiety that you experience just as a viewer in this, I can't imagine what people that live that go through. The strain and the expectations that they have to constantly confront. I'm glad there's people that can do it. That's all I can say. Because I'm not built for it. think I'd be able to handle it. You sometimes wonder, like, how would I handle an emergency situation? And I think if my reaction to this show's any indicator, that it would probably not be good for me. Oh man, this show is something. I don't even. Yep. And there's a second season that's currently underway right now, and my daughter was like, "So you're gonna watch the second season?" I'm like, I don't know that I have the ability to do that right now. And I don't think I have the emotional bandwidth or the energy to watch another season of that show right now. I need a break. It was just the way that it's set up is that each episode is an hour of a 15-hour shift. So it's like, I don't know if you remember that show 24, back in where it's like a 24-hour episode season, 24-hour day, whatever. Anyway, with I guess the character was Jack Bauer. Like Kiefer Sutherland, I guess, was the actor. This was maybe 20 some odd years ago, like early 2000s maybe. Really popular. And yeah, there are not very many shows. I guess my ex-wife, wife at the time, that was one where we actually bought the DVDs.
Yeah,
you know,
box set.
Yeah, because you would not want to stop. It was like the whole idea of binge watching sort of took off with shows like that, where you would get sucked in that, and I guess Lost were shows where when the DVDs would come out, sometimes people would wait and not watch it and then try to binge watch it, you know, because you would just get so addicted to it. Yeah, it's wild. And streaming changed everything, obviously, but this is before streaming. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I remember during COVID, I watched Game of Thrones. I was never I didn't watch it when it came out on HBO. It was being released episode at a time and very slow moving from what I could gather from all my friends who were watching it. And finally broke down and watched it over COVID. And you know, as many people probably caught up on things they had let go before times. But yeah, I was like, all right, I want to see what the hype is about. I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get it.
Yeah, that was one I did the same. I knew of the popularity, but I'd only ever watched like 2 episodes.
Right.
And then I think it was 2021. I did not get much sleep.
Yeah.
For
right.
Like 2 months.
Yeah.
I was watching that every day.
Yeah.
In the evenings.
Yeah, I had little kids. The kids were pretty small at the time, so I would wake up before they did, and I'd watch an episode a day in the morning before work. So it's like that would be my coffee time and breakfast time, and I would be watching the episode before they woke up, and then they would come down as I was finishing and make them breakfast or whatever, and get to work for the day. And of course, that was when I was working from home, so like everybody else. It was such a weird time. Such a weird time.
like we're due for another one that's that good.
Yeah. Game changer, huh?
Yeah. And the only thing that's close to locking me in as hard was Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I never watched that. I watched Breaking Bad, but I never watched Better Call Saul. I never, or Better Call Saul, not Better Call, Better Call. And everybody gets like, how did you not watch that? I'm like, I don't have an explanation for you. So it just didn't fit my life. And I just felt Breaking Bad kind of broke the mold. And everybody's like, oh, it's got some of the same characters, some of the same kind of storylines, same kind of writing. It's like you would love it. I just never did it. Maybe I need to circle back. So obviously you recommend it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched Breaking Bad almost all the way through, and then I watched the movie too, and I don't know, I just thought Better Call Saul was such a better show.
Oh, cool. Wow.
I paid for the seasons.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think the last two, they were free on one platform, and I ended up having to pay for them on Amazon to get them.
Yeah, when things start bouncing around.
And I even like one of my clients was super into it too, and so I would see him like a couple months and catch up with talking about where one of us currently was at in it.
Sure.
And I even when I was thrifting found a Better Call Saul book.
Oh wow.
And it's kind of like a comic book in a way, but it wasn't. But it was a collector's book, and I snagged that for him.
Gave you some insight.
Yeah, it was just like, it was a cool little token to the show.
Yeah. so dry right now. It's so necessary. Just for a moderate drought, I think, overall in this area. So hopefully this helps fill up the lakes and the reservoirs.
So overall, lettering out pretty little teal.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty much touching up all of it. last session, did I have the vintage TV overlay with it?
Oh, I don't remember. That's kind of cool. I just remember being at my girlfriend's house and we were looking at it on YouTube on a big screen, and how weird that was. Like, this is so surreal. You know?
It's been like a good feedback about it is friends and family being able to
Yeah,
throw it on a living room TV.
exactly. Absolutely. Cat game. You a cat person or a dog person? Or neither?
More of a dog.
Me too.
I like all animals, but
Do you have a cat?
my mom was allergic, so
No.
never had them like growing up or anything. She had a cat when I was really, really young. But found out she was
Discovered. Yeah. Discovered you're allergic. Yeah. Yeah, my son's allergic, and I'm emotionally allergic.
allergic. It's scarred.
Yeah, I just don't like cats. Not scared of them, just don't like them.
A lot of them assholes.
Yeah, that's kind of been my experience. There's been exceptions. I've had cats growing up and stuff, but it's just not my vibe.
Like kind of trained a cat once.
Yeah?
And I was like, all right, I'll kind of get it, and we'll obey it. Yeah, I lived when I was in Fayetteville. I was renting a room at a house with the girl at the time who ran counter at the shop I was at,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a cat. I think his name was Garfield.
A good name.
Yeah,
Classic.
big old fluffy orange cat.
Sure.
And it leaned into its cuteness to get what it wanted, you know. You like try to tell it to do something, and it just roll over on its back, and then start
Yeah.
meowing and kicking its feet. But
That's
it was
funny.
starting to be where like his hair was on everything.
Yeah.
So I like just didn't want him in the room, and also I didn't want to be where I closed my door all the time.
Yeah.
So I just spent like a week consistently of every time he walked in the room, pick him up, set him right outside the door.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing that and doing that. Finally, he would just like chill right outside the door and not come in. And
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, that sounds like you trained a cat.
I'm taking credit for it. You know.
I think you should. The cat didn't train itself.
But trying to do that, the first couple days of doing it, every time I'd go to pick him up, he'd roll over on his belly.
Yeah.
Like, ain't I cute? Ain't you gonna let me get away with this?
Yeah. I just don't like the whole notion of an animal that's gonna poop in a box in my house and then proceed to walk on the counter where I'm gonna make food. It's just something about that. It's just foul to me.
Yeah, that aspect of it too.
Yeah, it's just foul.
Also, like the whole like look at you and then
Yeah.
knock something off.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, the whole cats are. Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast from the forensics expert was on it. He was talking about it was like it'll take a month or two before your dog will eat you.
The
if
cat
you
will eat
died.
you within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Saw the same thing. And I was like, yeah, I pretty much always knew that. They'll go through the soft bits, the eyes and the ears and the nose and stuff. Yeah. They're just a little bit closer to being wild. Like a cat will go feral inside of like a few months of being out on their own. Takes a little bit longer for a dog to go feral.
Where the dog just stays timid.
Yeah. Just a little bit more little bit closer to the animal kingdom cats are, I think. A little bit willing to be wild. That and cats like to run around at night, like breaking shit.
Yeah.
And I had enough girlfriends in my life where they had cats, and like constantly waking up in the middle of the night, or you wake up and there's a cat like standing on the bed staring at you, and I'm just like, fuck me, like, you gotta be kidding, get off me, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, my mom used to always say the thing like they'll steal your breath at night.
Right? Yeah, that's the legend. That's the legend. That's freaky. I mean, dogs can be annoying too, don't get me wrong, but it's a different kind of annoying. And it's the kind of annoying that I can handle. That's the only way I know how to explain it. I like animals.
Well, why do you think that is, though?
I don't know, man.
Is it because it? This is my thought on it. Is like, is it because you think a dog's dumb enough that like you give it that grace where you're like, cats are pretty fucking smart.
Yeah.
And like you almost feel offended because it's that smart and it's doing the shit to annoy you.
It's one of those things where it's like, cats annoy me because they don't need you at all.
Yeah.
Until they do, and then they decide sort of randomly they don't. So it's just kind of like that mercurial, like, I like you now, and then I'm going to bite you randomly.
Yeah.
You know? And then I'm going to come back to you 5 minutes from now and roll up against you. I'm just like, man, I can't deal. Dogs, on the other hand, they're like almost too friendly.
Yeah.
And too needy. And that can get annoying too. So it's just like, different personalities. What can you tolerate? And to me, it's like, at least with the dog, they're consistent.
Yeah.
Dogs are consistent, and cats are not. And I prefer the consistency, I guess. Cats are funny, and I think that, like, I like cats. Like, it's like if I go to somebody's house, I love a cat. Like, I'll pet a cat all day long. It's just like not really anything that, like, I don't dislike the animal. It's just like I can't live with you though. Like, I'll visit you.
It's like the people who don't want kids too. They're like,
exactly.
I don't mind if my friend has kids.
Absolutely,
Cool
I love
with,
kids. Yeah, but do I want little kids in my house anymore?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't want little kids on my house when they were my kids. No offense if they're listening to this right now, but I mean, I really do. I like kids, but I don't like small children. Like a toddler is, I mean, it's like constantly babysitting your drunk friend. I mean, it's like,
Don't put that in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, let's stop going over there. Stop going over there. No, put that down. And just like, and then there's, of course, when they're in that place where they can't really tell you what they need, they just scream and break stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's like a drunk friend. So, do you need to go to the bathroom? Are you hungry? Like, what do you need, dude? So I had this friend one time. I got super hammered at my house when we were in high school, and my guy had to go to the bathroom but couldn't tell me, and he couldn't get up. And so I finally got him into the bathroom, and I was like, "Do you need to go to the bathroom?" And he just sat there on the toilet with his clothes on.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I heard the tinkle of water. I'm like, oh, dude, you just pissed yourself. It's like, man, it's like he was in toddler mode. He couldn't tell me what he needed. It's like, I'm not gonna shut your pants off. Like, we're friends, but come on.
You got a story like that too. My buddy who lived out towards Asheville area was going through a divorce, and he come up to hang out with us. And so we went out like midday, went to grab a brew and play some pool.
Ah, day drinking at pool.
Yeah.
Good times.
And he doesn't drink light beer. He drinks like IPAs and all of that. And so like while we were there, I maybe had like one or two. I don't know how many he had. It's probably like 4 or 5. And then we went for food, We were at a Mexican restaurant, and they had like the big, large
The
glass
double deuce,
yeah,
man.
for like a special. So
Sure. Oh, of
I
course,
got one of those. He had a few of those,
Oh man,
and then
he was tanked.
yeah, at the time my wife finished up with work, and then we were like, "You want to go to another spot to shoot pool?" So we went to that spot. We're shooting pool, and
Beers.
yeah, I think he had like 4 or 5 more. So this is like over the course of like 4.5, 5 hours.
Oh man,
Yeah, and he gets
he was railed.
yeah, and he's like to the point of like barely walk, you know. And I'm so used to that. Like growing up, everybody would get hammered, and you know, they're fine. They're gonna wake up tomorrow, regret it. Anyways, we get him back to the house. He struggles to get through the door. And we make sure he gets into the bedroom, spare bedroom, and he lays down and I'm in there. And my wife was looking at me like, you know, you want to check on him? And I was like, it's my friends. We always do this. He's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Well, he wakes up the next morning and pokes his head into our room, you know, regretting last night. He said, he's like, I woke up without any underwear on. I can't find my underwear. And they're like, yeah, you won't do that again, huh? And then, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks later, my wife's like, I can't find the tape measure. Will you go look for the tape measure or whatever? And so I have like one of those rolling standing toolboxes, and I was working on the house around the time he came in. So I had it out in the room, and I put it in the. I woke up the next morning like, oh shit, man, all my tools are everywhere. I put it in the closet because he was staying with us for a few more days. Well, I went to reach into that toolbox to see if the tape measure was in there, and my hand was wet.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe my wife tossed one of her water bottles in there. It wasn't closed all the way.
Oh no.
And then the smell hit me.
Oh dude.
Yeah, and I found his underwear. They were in the toolbox.
Oh.
He woke up in the middle of the night and pissed in my toolbox, thinking it was, I guess,
A urinal.
place to piss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ended up ruining like my stud finder, and a lot of my tools were rusted out.
Oh man.
And I messaged him and I was like, I want you to know, like, I'm not mad at you. I mean, I'm a little disappointed, but I get it. You got really drunk.
Yeah.
And but I was like, hey man, you kind of like ruined all my tools. And
I'm sure he had no ability.
yeah, he was like, there's no way, dude. He's like, there's no way. And I was like, bro, I'm telling you.
This is not the kind of story you make up.
Yeah.
Like stranger than fiction type stuff. But totally believable somehow.
I was like, I found your underwear.
Yeah. You get that bad, man. Yeah. Early on in my marriage, I ended up going to some friends of my wife. We were just early 30s, maybe late 20s, early 30s. It was pretty young still. But, you know, I had some experience at that point. I wasn't like a new drinker or anything like that. I'd been drinking for years and, you know, could hold my liquor. You know, I could really put it down if I needed to and wanted to. And I was hanging out with her friend's husband, who's ex-military and like was into some pretty hairy stuff, and he had a bunch of buddies who were kind of in the same boat. And I'm not military or anything like that, but they just getting around them, they get kind of wild. And we ended up going to the ABC store, and he's like, "What do you want to drink?" And I was like, "I'm kind of into Jack right now." So I got a fifth of Jack and proceeded to drink it that night.
Yeah.
Just one of those things, you just get kind of caught up in the moment. Everybody's taking shots, and you know, I think towards the end, I just was walking around with the bottle. It was that, so it was really bad. And, you know, I never really felt that out of it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until I sat down in the car at the end of the night, it was probably 2 o'clock in the morning, we were driving home. I was not driving home.
Yeah.
I was in a passenger seat. And, she's like, "Are you okay?" And I couldn't form words.
Yeah.
She said, "You were just nonsensical." In my mind, I was answering the question.
Yeah.
But she just was like, it was word salad. And she said, "You just kept saying, I'm sorry," over and over again. And I got home and I couldn't walk. Like, it was bad. It was one of those, like, you know, is this going to be a Jimi Hendrix experience? You know, am I going to, like,
throw up in your stomach?
Yeah, exactly. And so she was, like, the whole night she was terrified that I was going to get sick and, like, aspirate and stuff like that. And I just said, I profusely apologized the next day. I was like, I was completely out of hand and out of line. I'm so sorry. And you live and learn, and that's the last time I did that. You know, the last time I grabbed a handle and just pour it down. Like, oh my. I think I'd go to the hospital now if I did that. You know, as you get older, your body can't handle that kind of stuff. Obviously, I couldn't handle it then either. But, man,
it's like the worst when you're aware that you can't speak.
Yes.
You're like, I know I'm so hammered, I can't even open my mouth right now.
Yeah. I have words, but they cannot make it from my brain to my mouth. Yeah.
And all you can do is the nostril breath, just
the sigh.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Should try to, even if I do drink now, try to be pretty moderate.
I'm a wine drinker now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I still for some back, but the bottle is appropriate. Anything more than that, shouldn't have it.
Yeah, I hear you. My girlfriend really likes wine, and you know, I'll drink some with her, but I'm definitely more of still to this day, more of a whiskey and a beer guy. And in the vein of the Big Lebowski, I like a White Russian. It's like my only frou-frou drink that I drink.
One thing I like about the holidays is the eggnogs.
Absolutely. Eggnog with bourbon. Mm-hmm. I try to do it every year. I get the eggnog when I first see it and make some eggnogs with bourbon. Nobody seems to want it but me, though. So I'm like, oh, okay then. Guess I'm gonna have it all over a period of nights, and then once I do that one carton of eggnog, somehow that's all I need, you know, and it's like I'm done. And I usually get a small one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You realize how many calories
Oh my!
is in that?
Exactly.
One small carton of eggnog.
God, man. It's like I've just gained 14 pounds, you know.
Like 3,000 calories.
Exactly. Oh my God.
That was like a problem when I was younger, working at a grocery store. I just discovered custard. I was like,
Yeah?
I could just drink ice cream? Is that what you're saying to me right now?
Yeah, basically. Oh man, that's wild. Discovered custard. That's great. Well, here's a bizarre one. My granddad, my father's father, he used to drink, I kid you not, a quart of buttermilk every single day. Buttermilk.
I mean, I've heard of it, like, it's like the thing when times are hard.
Yeah, man.
Give you some calories to get through the day. But
Yeah, I do. I remember as a kid, I was thinking, okay, I like milk, I like butter. I'm going to try this. And I took one sip and spit it into the sink. I don't know what I was expecting, but it ambushed me, and it didn't stay in my mouth very long. And I put it right back I poured the rest into the sink and put the carton back in the refrigerator. I was like, leave that for Granddad. So, bizarre.
It's probably beer to him. It was an acquired taste.
Evidently. I tell you, man, not for me. I've thought about trying it again, maybe as an adult. It's like, maybe I need to give it
a new palate.
Yeah, it's like, I'm good. It's like, I'm going to let it remain a mystery. Go with my initial reaction to it. And just because two things are good doesn't mean that they're good together. The fact that I haven't had any food today is starting to show. Cat people, and dog people, and toddlers and drunks. Like that's conversations turn that direction. Get a little loopy, I guess.
I was like, is that where the term "sorry drunk" comes from?
Maybe
like
so.
They get so drunk they just keep
I'm just sorry.
for everything.
I'm so sorry. Sorry for everything. Yeah, probably. I certainly was that night. It was embarrassing. I was in embarrassment, and I was embarrassed, and all of it. Oh, it was just so bad. I'm just thankful I wasn't trying to drive. Ugh. Oh, are we at that stage? All right. Oh, good stretch. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, you're good. Yeah, still hot gloves and pour them.
Oh, okay. Can you wrap me there?
Yeah.
We're just talking about trying to do red on the eyes, right?
Yeah. Just in the open space of the eye.
Cool.
Down here.
All right.
Hey guys, that's gonna be all for me today. Be streaming some gaming this week and maybe even a drawing, but I won't be back on stream tattooing until next Saturday. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And if you're checking this out as a VOD and you made it this far, I appreciate you for that. You guys have a great rest of your weekend, start of the week. Take care. Bye.